Hey guys and gals, it's me, Moose, back with another edition of Farming Simulator 2017. And today we're back on the farm here at Lawfolds Aberdeenshire. And this is episode 2. In our last episode, you guys know we just kind of took a tour around and I began fertilizing field number 26. Today we'll pick up where we left off. I've actually done a little bit of work since then. As you can tell, I've moved some equipment around here on the farm. I've got all the tractors over here now. So it makes a little bit more sense to have the tractors here, open up this so that the skid steer would be in here with access to all of these fertilizer and seed bags. Now this tractor here is here now, but would probably get moved somewhere else. But yeah, so I moved everything around a little bit. I then came over here, and this particular facility here is where I've got all the implements at now. And it just seems like this would be a nice big equipment shed to put all that in, especially seeing as I plan on getting some bigger equipment. I'll get in that in just a moment. I've still got this shed also that can have some things in it. All the grass equipment I've moved over to the sheep facility, the proper sheep facility. Yeah, apparently in the last video, I kind of got my locations mixed up a little bit. I don't know how I got confused, but apparently I mistake the sheep icon for the cattle icon and the cattle icon for sheep. I don't know why I did that. Maybe it was just late at night. But yeah, and admittedly, when I took my initial ride around on this map and checked it out and familiarized myself with it, I never did go down to what is the dairy facility and look at it. If I had of originally, I probably would have realized it wasn't a sheep area. Because even when I recorded the video, I remember looking at the barn there and thinking to myself, oh, look, that's the dairy thing right out of Goldcrest Valley. Yeah, and I remember thinking that to myself, and I don't know, it just didn't click for some reason. Again, a lot of times I record these, it's wee hours of the morning, I'm just exhausted or whatever. But anyways, so yeah, I got those flip-flops. So the sheep's over where I thought the dairy was, and the dairy's over where I thought the sheep was. But anyways, so I moved all the grass equipment over there because I plan on using those in 39. So that's going to be where I'm using it most of the time. So it doesn't matter to have it sitting down there. It's in a good place down there. But anyways, then I came over here, I finished fertilizing this, and then I plowed this. And I came to realize in plowing this that Moosey underestimated the size of these fields. Yeah, they're big. They're huge big. And plowing with a 3.5 meter plow took 3.5 hours to plow this one field. Yeah, it took a while. Which means with a 6 meter cultivator, it's going to take about an hour and a half to do it. So that's not that's not good. Which means we're gonna have to replace some equipment here on the farm in order to be efficient and to get some things going. So we've got to get some money in the coffers, and because of that, I've done a couple of side missions already. I went over to let's bring up the map, field number 23 and 24, which are two of the biggest fields on here. 24 is like 19 hectares, 19 and a half. 23 is 15 and a half, I believe. I fertilized both of those, and then I did a harvest over on 6 of corn, which is how I now have $96,000, which I also filled up this guy with fertilizer and used a little bit of money on it. So that's where I'm at, but I'm going to definitely have to come up with some more money because I've got some shopping I need to do. I'll show you what I'm thinking. Under cultivators, probably gonna look, this is what we've got right now at 6 meters. It's going to take quite a while with that. I'm either going to grab the Horse Tiger or the Limkin Gigant, which I've used this quite a bit. I've used that one all throughout FS 15 on Manchester, so I'm used to using it, and it's a good cultivator at 12 meters. So that's probably going to be the route I go. This one's on only 10.2. The Knocklin, this one you've got to have a really big tractor for. I think I should be still able to pull this one with the 3200 and get away with it. I don't know. I might need a bigger tractor for it. I can pull the horse for sure at 10 meters, though it won't be the fastest pull in the world with that JCB. Plow wise, we've got this Amazon here, which is 3 meters. The Limken's only 5 meters, and then you go 6 with the Stalford. This thing here, I just can't stand. It's not variable, so you're pretty much stuck plowing one direction. Whereas this is variable, and I do like it. And I could probably get away with pulling it with the 32, but I'm pretty sure I can get away with pulling it. But then I also did download some mods. Both of these guys, from FS15. This one's from American Eagles Modding, and this particular one is Joe Lindenberg's disc gripper from 15 that has been ported over by somebody. And both of those are good options, but I don't know. I sort of feel guilty about using a disc/chisel plow as a plow. To me, that's still a cultivator or, a ripper. It's not really for turning fields. So I did get this Machino, or Machio. It is a XXL12. It's a 6 meter mold board, and I will probably get it. Only I don't like the price. I don't like it being $25,000 instead of being more around $60,000 where it should be to be comparable to these two guys. But if you're at $25,000, it's 6 meters. This is probably what I will end up getting because I do like using the more traditional plow when I do my stuff. So I'll probably pick up one of those. And that'll probably give us a good start, and then we'll double everything up eventually once we get a little bit more money. As far as seeders go, I've got to get something to be able to do corn with that isn't teeny tiny. This is what we've got to do corn right now, and that's just isn't going to foot the bill. We can do we could go with this 6 meter tempo. And that would cost $61,000, but I'm thinking, why not go ahead and get the 9 meter horse and use it and save ourselves some headache. Which that is the serial version. This is the one I was thinking we need. This guy here, the Magestro or whatever it is, we'll pick it up $121,000 though, so it's going to be steep to get that. We've already got this guy, and it's fine. It's still going to take, if it's 6 meters, it's going to take an hour and a half to get that field done. So, certainly once I get enough money to double everything up, life will be a lot simpler. But for now, I'm probably going to be doing most of the work myself, so I don't incur all the costs associated with the hired help. So I need as big an implement as I can get. So money is definitely going to need to come flowing in. So I've also just, with that in mind, I've changed my mind on how I'm going to really approach the farm. I was thinking I'd go ahead and flip the unplowed fields or unset fields and get them set. But now I'm thinking I want to get these fields ready to harvest the ones that we need to harvest, specifically the sugar beets, because I'd like to get the sugar beets harvested and maybe sell them. Not sell them, but sell the harvester. Because right off the bat, I'm not going to be able to get into livestock. I'm certainly not going to be able to get into pigs heavily. I might be able to get a few, but not a ton of them. And whatever sugar beets I get out of field 30 up here, I probably would be able to hold on to, and they would last me a real long time. Enough time so that we could build up some money and repurchase the item. And, if we sell the rooster and the topper, that's just about $100,000 right there that we can apply towards equipment. So that's probably what we're going to do. So I'm going to get this field ready to be harvested, and then once we can harvest it, probably sell off the rooster. Anyways, So that's sort of what I'm looking at. That's sort of where we're at. Get you caught up with what's happening here on the farm. Let's get this guy spread out. Let's get our GPS mode turned, our mod turned on. We'll auto detect the width, which is 15 meters for this particular device. Bring in just a little bit here. That looks good. Back her up. Pull it forward. Raise that head up some. And we'll go ahead and turn her on and spray. So anyways, how you guys doing? Hope you had a great weekend. Hope you're doing well. Had a good weekend. Had to take a little road trip on Saturday for some family matters. Got that taken care of. But had a good weekend. Played a lot of farm sim over the weekend. Friday night we did a nearly 6-hour live stream Friday night, which was fun. Got a lot done on that. Played around with manure a little bit. We found out that you can't tip manure into a manure spreader using a conveyor belt, which is absolutely the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Well, not the stupidest thing I've ever heard out of Giants, but one of the dumbest things to come out of FS17 from Giants. I mean, you've got the conveyor belt set up to haul manure, right? And the conveyor belt will transport manure into a regular tipper, but yet it won't put manure into a manure spreader. That's just about the most idiotic thing I've heard. And the rationale behind that makes no sense either. What is the rationale before that? Oh, well, you know, we want you to be able to use the conveyor to load for transporting of manure over from one pen to another, you know, but when it comes to loading up that manure spreader, that needs to be shoveled. That way all the good juicy liquids and everything, oh, that's sick, all that gets in there. There's no logic. There's no reason behind it other than that one just slipped through the cracks. And Giants, once again, do you play the game that you manufacture? Seriously, that's just a ridiculous oversight. Yeah, you can shovel the manure into a manure spreader, but you can't actually use the conveyor belt. So, if I can't put manure into, if you didn't want me putting manure into the manure spreader using the conveyor belt, then the conveyor belt, I mean, if you can't put manure into a manure spreader with a conveyor belt, you shouldn't be able to use it with anything else. So you shouldn't have even had manure on the conveyor to begin with. Just retarded. Hello Giants, patch that, please, because that's just stupid. Agree, disagree? Let me know. I'm curious what you guys think. Me, I think it's pretty dumb. All right, let's rotate 90 degrees. Let's bring this course over. And we'll go ahead and spray this little wheat field as well. So this is a step I think a lot of people, when they start up the farm on a new map, they skip this. And I don't know why. Because this is 30% more yield that I can get by taking the time to do this. Right? So go ahead, and even though this is ripe and ready to harvest, I should still be on here doing this. Right? Because this is extra yield that I'm going to get, which playing on hard mode means mo money, mo money, mo money. I really should do a headland on this. Let's run a headland around it real quick. since it's odd shaped. It'll work out a little bit better. I won't be able to see where the spraying ended and began, but it's all right. All right, so we'll get this done. But yeah, on the fields that arrived, I'm only going to get like a 30% increase in the yield. That's fine. But on the rest of these fields, I should be able to get anywhere between 60 and 90%. The corn over here, probably going to be able to get 90% on it. And the sugar beets, I'm probably only going to be able to get 60% because the sugar beets are in growth stage 3. They're in their last final growth stage, which means the next time we address them, they'll be ripening up and it'll be harvest time, but I can still put an application of fertilizer on them right before the harvest and maximize that yield. Though that is sort of a hack, but I'm going to do it anyways. It's not really something I would do, you know, from a start point. I wouldn't fertilize like that, but if I was going for true realism, but when you're picking up like this, I think it's all right. Maximize your yield, because I would have taken every step possible if I was playing this game from the start. My fields would have been fertilized all the way out, so I'm going to say it's okay for that. I certainly wouldn't do 3 fertilizations, you know, the rest of the time like that. I mean, especially you wouldn't fertilize right before harvest. I would just be silly. It wouldn't be real tasty either. Alright, get up here and stop. Back her up. I can continue to spray. So over the weekend, I tested a ton of mods. See what was good, what was bad, what was working, what wasn't working. New version of Auto Combine came out, which is now affectionately known as the AI extension mod or something like that. AI extension control. It ain't real good. It's okay for using like on a small combine. Large combine, it has a lot of issues, and the tractor work, the auto tractor function of it, messes up so bad it's just not even funny, which is sad because they've got some neat stuff in there. They've got like 1, 2, 3, I think 4 different variations for how the tractor turns at the end of the field, which is awesome. Like, they've got a mode where as you approach the end of the field, it will stop, back up, do a quarter of a turn, then pull forward doing a quarter of a turn and move on through the field, right? Very cool. Or you can go with the traditional pull out of the field, take a quarter of a turn, then back her up, and then take a turn going back into the field. That's kind of cool. Or then for you guys who like to just drive out and do a big loop, you can have it do that. Or you can have it drive out and do a figure 8 and come back into the field. So there's a lot of different options for it. Very cool. But inevitably it screws up somewhere in its operations, and before it gets to the end of the field, it just destroys itself and messes up. So it's not very reliable. It's quite disappointed on there, but the good thing is they're working on it, and it's a work in progress. And you know, if they get all the little bugs out of it, it'll be pretty good. Oh, you know what I need to do right here? I need to adjust that so I can see what I'm doing. There we go. Adjust that line up so I can actually see where it's at instead of trying to drive it blind. Oh yeah, crops coming through the tractor. Some translucent tractors. That's some strong wheat right there. Be able to go through metal like that. And rotate her around. What else happened over the weekend? Oh, server news. So the multiplayer services had a little update to it. For the past year, I've been running the multiplayer server as an open server for the most part. It's been something that I wanted pretty much anybody to be able to get on it as long as they behaved and play. And I didn't want them to have to jump through a whole bunch of hoops to try and get on there. But unfortunately, we've had our highs and lows with, you know, trolls and people who just don't follow rules. And it's just gotten to the point where those who are on the server on a regular basis are getting frustrated with the fact that people aren't following the rules, and they're getting irritated by it, and they're starting to lash out at the, you know, people who don't, because they know it frustrates me and everything else like that. So anyways, it's gotten to the point where as much as I wanted to keep it public and open, it just wasn't working out. We got a good core group of people that get on there and play all the time, and I want them to have the environment where they can play and feel like the work that they do is not in jeopardy as somebody coming on in the middle of the night and driving through their fields, and somebody's not gonna, you know, sell off all the feed that they spent so much time baling up, which we've actually had some people get on in the middle of the night and sell all the bales off, or sell all the silage off that we're using to feed the animals with, or, you know, drive through the fields, or, you know, over the weekend we had somebody who decided that they wanted to do forestry so bad they got the stump grinder and went and ground up trees to get them to fall to the ground, which I don't know if you knew you could do that, but you can. So it's just come to the point where we've had to make some changes with the server to where it's no longer public accessible. It is a private server now. It is still a community server, though, in the sense that if you're a part of my community, you can get on there and play. You just need to come on Discord, hang out with us, talk to me. I'll give you the information on how to get the mods, how to get the password, all that other stuff. Hey, you can jump on and play with it, but you know, the same rules are going to apply. And if you can't adhere to the rules, then you're going to get kicked off the server. It's, you know, it's still the same thing. It's just we're not going to make it as easy for somebody to get on the server now and disrupt everything. So just keep that in mind. Basically what I've done is I've assigned those who play on the server on a regular basis and do farming, I've assigned them a role within Discord that allows them access to the server information. So when I change a password on it, they'll be able to see that the password's been updated and what it is. If you don't have that role on your name, you won't be able to get access into that channel, and you won't be able to get the password or anything. So don't fret if you're somebody, if you get on Discord and you don't have access to the Farm Sim chat room, where all the server info is. If you don't have access to that, don't get upset. Just send me a private message and let me know who you are on FarmSim, because there are some people who are on Discord and their name is different than what it is on the FarmSim server, which you should have the same name on FarmSim as you do on Discord. But if that's not the case, just let me know who you are on there, and you know, as long as you're in good standing with everything, I'll go ahead and get you the information, get you all set up. And if you're somebody who is a part of the channel or part of the community and you just have never been on there and you haven't been active but you want to get on there, you'll just need to jump on Discord now and message me. I'll get back with you. We'll set up a time when I can just grab you in Discord and chat with you for a few minutes just to go over a couple of things, go over the expectations, and then we'll set you up so that you can get on the server as well. It's just adding a step in for people to get access, so that we're just not giving them blind access to the server, and we can control things a little bit more. And that way I can also, if I'm having problems with people, I can weed them out a little bit easier. And we just keep the server. But you know, we keep having people who the only time they want to get on the server is when I'm on there, and they get on there and then immediately, as soon as I'm done with a live stream, they jump off the server and they just leave their equipment where they finished with it. And you know, and that's disrespectful to everybody else who's on the server doing things right. So I'm going to curb all that stuff. The impulse farmer, that kind of stuff has got to go away. And so people who actually want to get on there and be an active member in the community and participate, those guys we want. But you know, I'm just here for the live stream guy. We're going to try to cut down on a little bit more, as well as I can get on this server and cause havoc guy as well. So we should be able to with the changes that were made over the weekend. So if you know, I've got to take if you see a link on an old video and you try to get on and all of a sudden that information's not there anymore, it's because it's been eliminated and moved to other places. So like I said, the server's still there for the community. It's just not going to be as easily accessible as it once was. But if you do want to play, you're still more than welcome, as long as you're in good standings. If you've been on the server before and you've acted like an idiot and you've gotten kicked off, or you've copped an attitude with everybody and gotten kicked off, I'm not going to let you back in. But if you haven't ever been on there and you want to get on, or if you've been on in the past and I didn't give you the ability to access the password and stuff, just private message me on Discord, and we'll get you set up. But you will need to be on Discord. We pretty much now ask everybody to be on Discord when they're farming on the server, and that way that they can communicate with the other people who are involved. Anyways, speaking of disrespect, hey, you know, a lot of people lately have been giving my moderators attitude. You guys, you remember, if you're disrespecting a moderator, you're disrespecting me. So they're trying to help me out. They have a role to do, and you know, don't disrespect them. Don't talk back to them. Don't cut attitude with them. I consider that just being disrespectful to me just as much as if you did it straight to my face. So and if you are giving them attitude and giving them lip, you're gonna be gone, just like anybody who drives through the field or something. And in the live streams, if you're watching the live streams, let the moderators do their jobs. Just enjoy the live stream, cut up with people, be a part of the conversation, but don't try to police the live streams. Let the moderators do their job. and let me do it. If you're not a moderator, just resist the urge to get involved, because it just causes problems. And you get in an argument with somebody, and I don't want to have to ban people who are, you know, normal people in the conversation, but they felt like they needed to get involved in something, and you got in an argument with somebody and you got banned because you got into a conversation you shouldn't have been in the first place. So just leave it to the moderators. It seems like there's a lot of well-meaning people in the live streams who want to try to help out, but it ends up causing more confusion than it does, or causing more problems than it actually helps out. So now, if you guys will help me out with that, I appreciate it. All right. So yeah, this field we probably should be able to get 3 fertilizer sprayings on it, which will help us out get a good corn yield. My initial goal is to get a few pigs in and go ahead and get them going. Because as I've said before, they have a tendency to reproduce like rabbits, and that will be my first goal, is to get the pigs going. However, though, I have to keep in mind I don't have a way to transport them. So I'm gonna have to look at animal transport too. That's another expense. Now, before anybody comments, I know you can buy the animals right at the stall, but I would rather do it legit. Go pick them up, transport them over, do it that way. All right. Let's see what else is happening. I tested out a bunch of new mods this weekend, or tested out a bunch of mods. Some mods aren't so much new as I just gave them a retest to see if they gotten any better. Most of them failed. I've been trying to get a forklift working in the game, and that hasn't happened. I tried the Toyota forklift. I tried the Clark forklift that's on the mod hub. Neither one of them worked for me. Like the Clark, if I go to purchase it, it won't actually purchase. It just sits there and spools and says your selection is being purchased, or whatever it says, and it never actually purchases it. Just for giggles, I let it run for like an hour the other night in the background just to see if it ever would purchase it, and it didn't. Somewhere I've got a mod conflict. I don't know what it is. I thought maybe it was all the 4-reel mods that were maybe causing it, because I do know Zombie's got a truck that he's been working on, a Peterbilt for logging, that looks absolutely fabulous, but because it didn't have the 4-reel dirt texture on it, I couldn't purchase it if I had that particular mod installed. So if I uninstalled the mod, I could purchase his truck and I could use it just fine. So I thought maybe that was it. So I took all of those out, and I still can't get that stupid forklift to purchase. So I don't know. If anybody's figured out what's causing that, let me know. If you're having an issue with it, you're not the only one. Chris tried to load it last night, and he still couldn't get it to load either with his settings. So I mean, there's got to be a mod that we're using that's caused it. I don't know if it's course play or what. Which if it's course play or one of those other ones, I just won't use the mod because I'm not going to do without course play, and I'm not going to do without GPS mod or drive control or some of those other ones. But I am curious to see what's holding it up. Mess around with the big bag of seed over the weekend as well. I don't know. Do you, anybody who's using big bag of seed mod that is over on Mod Central, are you able to actually get it to tip into a seeder by picking it up, driving over the seeder, and then having it automatically load the seed into the seeder, fertilizer, spreader, whatever you're loading, just like you would do with a pallet? You know, if you use the pallet version that's in the game, I can drive that over whatever seeder or fertilizer spreader I'm using, and as soon as it gets over the top of it, it automatically dumps the seed into it, right? The only way I'm able to get the big bag of seed mod to dump is if for some reason that didn't grab my GPS course. The only way I'm able to get that to dump in is if I pick up the bag, put it over the seeder or fertilizer, then get out, go get in the other tractor and hit R for refill. Then it dumps, it has the particle animation, everything's fine. But as far as automatically filling it, I can't get that to happen. So, which is a bummer because I really like the mod and I want it to work because it's more realistic to me that you have a bag that you pick up with your pallet forks and dump it in that way than it is to use that pallet that Giants designed into the system. But I need it to auto dump because, like, if you're trying to fill up a large Breedle fertilizer trailer, you don't want to have to be getting in and out of your tractor every bag of fertilizer to get it to dump. It needs to automatically dump in there. I'm just not able to get it to dump. So I did read on the forums some people talking about the collisions weren't in the right place, but then he says he's fixed it and then it'll be fixed in the next update, but I don't know when the next update was, and I probably need to go read some more. But if anybody's using it and you're having success with it, let me know, because it's sure failing on my end. What else? I got a really cool mod off of Mod Central also. The game extension mod. I don't know if you guys have seen this one. It just adds a few more controls into your game, which is really nice. One of which allows you to do to get everything off of your screen for doing screen captures. So when, like, for me, when I'm making thumbnails, it's nice to be able to get all of the HUD off. In 15 I used HUD hider, but with this particular mod I won't need HUD hider because I can do it from within the mod. I'll show you what I'm talking about here real quick. Well, let's turn the sprayer off. You jump in, I press I and it activates the mod, and you see on the first screen cruise control, toggle crosshairs, farmer touch, screen mode, vehicle HUD icons. What this does is cruise control. This allows you to do mouse controlled cruise control. A lot of people wanted to be able to adjust the cruise control speed using their mouse. If you have this turned on, you can, while you're driving along, you can right click on your mouse and then use your mouse wheel to increase and decrease your cruise control speed. That's kind of nice. Toggle crosshair. I like that one. I like to be able to turn that crosshair off because I really don't like it sitting up there in the middle of the screen the entire time. Farmer's touch shows crop status on screen when on field. Walking player only. I really haven't seen that one work yet. Screenshot mode. This is the one I was talking for you. If I turn that on and then I escape out, my HUD's gone, which is nice if you're trying to make pictures and stuff. And then get your HUD back, you've got to, of course, go right back into the program, turn that screenshot mode off. And the vehicle HUD icons, visual aid icons for vehicles. So those right there, those are some nice settings. If we go to the next tab, this is where some really cool things are. You have AI extension on, AI in shift. And what this does is it allows you to have the AI stop working at the end of their shift, and they'll resume work when their shift works. So you can set up the start of a shift here. In this case, it's 7 a.m. and then end shift hour, which is 7 p.m. And if you have the end shift turned on, your worker will only work between 7 and 7. So it'll only work those 12 hours. And when it gets to 7 p.m., it'll stop working and it'll resume the next morning. That's kind of cool. But you can also come down here, you set pay rates for AI. If you don't have this turned on, the AI will work from 7 till 7, but then any work it does after 7 p.m., it will do at an overtime rate. So you can set the regular pay scale here, and you can set the overtime pay scale here. Pretty cool little function. If you don't want to use it, you can turn it off. You can set the number of hireable people that you can use and set that up to whatever max number. You used to be able to do that all the time in Giants for multiplayer, but this allows you to do it even in single player. Dynamic hose difficulty level. If you're using the dynamic hose mod, you can set the difficulty level on it. Fruit growth dairy missions. I don't know if you realize this or not, but the default game doesn't allow your fields to grow while you're doing a mission. So if you were plowing and planting your field and then going and doing a mission thinking that your field would grow while you did the mission, it's not. The default game doesn't allow that, but this mod will allow you to select and turn it on, so you can do that. You can go get your field prepped, you can plant it, and so in my case, if I went and prepped it and put oilseed radish in and then went and did a mission, when I came back, hopefully my oilseed radish would be ripe enough into the first growth stage. I can go ahead and cut it under and plant my crop, or vice versa. If you wanted, your crop gets planted, you wanted to go do a growth stage, do some missions, and then come back and run your weeder through it or whatever to get to your next fertilizing. You would be able to do that. With the way the game's set up right now is every time you do a mission, it stops the progress of your field. So this actually will let you turn that on, which is really nice. Player lift scale. This allows me to increase the amount of weight my player can lift. So like right now, let's tab over to here. And we'll do something over here. Like we've got this weight right here. If I came up to it and tried to lift it, there's just no way I'm going to be able to lift that, right? And it's not even going to give me the hand icon for it. And if we came over to here, there's no way I could lift that. Object's too heavy, right? But if we go into the mod, I can come in here and I can increase the lift scale on this. And I'm going to go backwards with it because it'll be easier. I can lift this scale to 10, and now I can actually pick that up. I can pick it up. I could actually, if I wanted to, pick it up and pull it out, put it back in. Of course, now I've made a miss for me. Come on, let's back her up, pick her up, line it up, put it. Oh man, now I've just made a nightmare. Come on, get it. And oh man, I should have never done this. I should have just told you about it and not actually tried to demonstrate it. All right, come on. Come on. Oh, come on. Come on. You know you want to come out of there. Oh, silly fertilizer thing. Now I'm going to have a nightmare to deal with. There you go. Well, now I got the other one moving. Oh, I've just created a nightmare here trying to demonstrate something. All right, so let's line up perfectly on this. Of course, the first time it bumps into anything, it messes up. And... Careful. Drop it. Oh. Come on. I did that perfectly. You should have been happy. Oh, this is just going to get out of control in a minute. I'm going to lose my mind trying to demonstrate a mod. Alright, come on. I think we're done with that. That one's good. Alright, so Let's get right up on this one. Oh, no. Failure again. All right, come here. Drop that. No, drop. There we go. All right, let's see if we can do this. But anyways, so yeah, what I was going to try to tell you guys and what I was going to try and demonstrate is that you could actually pick up a mod that was way too heavy for you originally in the game and move it. Where does this come in handy? Let's say you had a mod that, well, it did something really stupid and, you know, you needed to adjust it and get it back into place. You would have that ability using this function. Like, let's say you had a, you know, a container like, oh, a liquid fertilizer container that you wanted to put somewhere and it was just giving you havoc. Maybe it had fallen into a spot that you couldn't access with a tractor or something like that. And this just isn't going to work, is it? I'm going to have to just come in here with a set of forklift or pallet forks and do this the legit way. I was thinking, man, this would just be easy to pick up and pull out and put right back in there. And boy, was I wrong. Come on. You're just not going to do it. Once you tip sideways on me, you're not going to go back in there. All right, I'll just get a forklift and do it. But anyways, yeah, I could probably, I think I can actually pick this up. Nope. Pick any of these up? No, can't pick those up. But anyways, that gives you an idea of what you can do with it. And then when you don't want to use it anymore, let's say you correct your mistake, you know, you had something fall into place where you needed to pick it up and move it out of the way, or you know, you just needed it for a brief second to be able to do that. You can set that up, and then once you're done with it, you can turn it back off, as 1 is the default. So I'll put mine back to 1. Pretty cool. Player grab distance, you can adjust that as well. Another really cool thing is restrict chainsaw usage. I think this one's great for me, you know, because I can put this on the multiplayer. I can leave a chainsaw on there, and I can switch it over to admin only, or restrict the usage and only let the admins use the chainsaw. Then also time scale at night. Instead of having to wait for night to pass by at the same rate as daytime does, you can actually increase the time scale in the evenings. And tabbing of vehicles, you can turn it on or off. So that way, if you're running a server or playing in multiplayer and you don't want people tabbing through all the vehicles and causing a little bit of lag for you, you can actually set that up so it doesn't do that. So a couple of cool little neat little features that are in that mod. You might want to check it out if you haven't already. I'll put a link in the description of the video for it over there on Mod Central. That is definitely a very cool mod that if you haven't checked out and haven't gotten, you probably want to get that and add into your mods list, because there's probably something in there, and I imagine there will continue to develop that and add more and more into it as it goes along. You know, and the tabbing of vehicles, being able to turn that off, that's great if you're doing some RP, you know. But I like the screenshot, being able to hide the HUD, being able to get rid of the crosshair off of the screen is nice. Being able to restrict access of chainsaw. Now if I can only use it to lock people out of certain vehicles so they don't use, you know, my tractor or whatever, or lock them out of then I could buy forestry equipment and lock people out of the forestry equipment. There used to be an admin program for multiplayer that you could do that with in 15. I'm hoping something like that eventually makes its way into 17, because it'd be nice. For those times when you wanted to add a little forestry in as a perk for people. We used to do that on Graceland, you know. We used to, I do forestry, you know, every so often, but I had to sell off all the cutting equipment. It'd be nice to be able to lock people out of a vehicle and that way you're not having to repurchase it all the time. But it'd be nice to say, okay, look, Friday night we're gonna do, you guys have done a good job this week, we're gonna do some forestry on the server, and you know, we'll get the equipment all unlocked and you guys can go do it. And that way it could be managed, but unmanaged it can be a nightmare. Because as we've seen on the on my private server, you put too much wood on the ground, it can it can still cause nightmares. Even with FS17, I was really hoping they would fix that, but it clearly hasn't been fixed. Too many logs, too much lag. Alright, so we're going to work on getting the rest of these fields prepped and ready to go, which means I've got that much more spraying to do. As I've got, what, 3 more fields to do, 4 more fields to do. I've got 31, 32, 33, and 34 that need to be sprayed. But 29's ready to harvest, 31's ready to harvest, 33's ready to harvest. And we'll start on that in our next episode. I'll get all the rest of the spraying done. Probably bring time forward a little bit so that we can get the rest of the spraying done so you guys don't have to sit through me spraying all the time. And then we will get to harvesting and get some fruit done. I'll probably do a mission or whatever, try to get a little bit more money. And the problem with me doing missions for a recorded video, like I said, I'll probably do a live stream on some single player so I can do some missions and stuff. Me doing a mission during a recording, just because the missions are going to take forever as well on here with these fields as big as they are, because they are just enormous. And that would get pretty boring as well, especially since you don't have to do anything on a mission other than drive around in circles and, you know, do your thing. But anyways, hope you guys liked the video today. Little update video. And like I said, we'll do some more. Oop, I'm out of fertilizer. Good enough place as any to wrap up. But like I said, we'll continue on with a single player, just getting started. And yeah, come on back and join me for another episode later on this week. And I'll like I said, we'll do some multiplayer streams, we'll do some single player streams this week, and see what we can get going. Again, if you like the video, make sure you smack the like button, share it with your friends, subscribe if you haven't already, as I try to do new videos each day for you guys. And like I said, some things should be you know, leveling out now in my personal life. We should get back in to streaming each night this week, so come and join me. We'll try to get the stream started right at 6 o'clock. Until next time, stay safe, have yourself a wonderful day. I wonder if I could use that one container up, then I don't have to worry about getting it in there. Ha ha. Anyways, have yourself a great day, guys. I'll see you later. Bye bye.